The avoidant leaves, they come back. They leave, they come back. It is Avoidant Groundhog Day. The never-ending cycle where they leave, give vague excuses as to why they need to end the relationship, come back, tell you how sorry they are and how much of a mistake it was, then leave again, giving more vague excuses. And the cycle goes on and on and on and on. This cycle continues for a couple different reasons. First, the avoidant, when they're triggered, they don't self-reflect. And because they don't self-reflect, they don't actually heal emotionally. They're unable to grow emotionally because self-reflection is required for emotional growth. And the other reason is that you allow this cycle to continue. You allow this treatment of yourself. On the self-reflection aspect, avoidance, well, they avoid. That's how they deal with emotional and relationship stress, is to not deal with it, to stick their head in the sand like an ostrich, to run from their problems. They don't process emotions, they don't process feelings, they suppress them, bury them, and run from them. And self-reflection is the polar opposite of avoiding. Because when you self-reflect, you actually have to face your feelings, face your fears, reflect on them. Think about where these feelings and fears come from within yourself. Explore old attachment wounds and traumas. See where you've gone right, see where you've gone wrong. Take accountability. Reflect on how your behaviors impact others around you. That is painful. The avoidant does not like to do that. They want to avoid it. So they just don't deal with it. And because they don't self-reflect, their unhealed attachment wounds, their fears of abandonment, fears of engulfment, fears of rejection, those fears are still present. And yes, during a period of no contact, when you're not reaching out to them, they can start to miss the benefits of you. They'll miss you and reach out thinking that they made a mistake. But those fears, since they are still unhealed because the avoidant didn't self-reflect and work on themselves, those fears are going to get triggered. It is inevitable, especially with a person that wants emotional intimacy in a relationship. If emotional intimacy builds, those fears will get triggered again because closeness, emotional closeness, that's the number one thing that triggers avoidant fears. And the avoidant will shut down, deactivate, take their emotions, bury them, and run from the problem all over again, which usually results in discarding the partner and leaving the relationship altogether, giving little to no coherent answer as to why. So, those fears will get triggered and the cycle continues. But the cycle also continues because you're allowing it. Because you're not holding boundaries. Boundaries being what you will and will not tolerate, what you want and don't want, what you need and don't need. When you do not actually hold a firm boundary and say, I will not tolerate this behavior, and be willing to walk away if you're being treated in a way that you don't deserve, you are enabling this person. You are allowing them to treat you this way. And allowing this treatment is detrimental to your own self-esteem because you're sending yourself the message that it's okay to treat you this way. You're sending yourself the subconscious message that when things are tough, when you're being mistreated, that you can't rely on yourself. You don't have your own back. You are not able to trust yourself to stand up for yourself. That hurts your self-esteem. That pushes you further into insecurity. It doesn't do you any favors. Yes, holding and enforcing boundaries, it's not fun. It's not a recreational activity. It can be hard to do, but when you do it, you're sending yourself the message that your wants, your needs, your feelings do matter, and that you can rely on yourself to have your own back even when it's tough. And that is a big confidence booster. Because you're pushing yourself into secure attachment because you're saying, I have my own back and I can trust myself. The cycle with the avoidant, the roller coaster ride, the merry-go-round, it ends essentially in one of three ways. The first way is that the avoidant actually commits to doing the work and they actually work on themselves, which should include therapy with a licensed psychotherapist that understands attachment theory, a deep commitment to change, meaning a change in behavior to where they have the willpower to do something different when they get triggered, and a commitment to deep self-reflection, truly looking within, which is required for meaningful change. That's the first way things change. The second way the cycle stops is that the avoidant permanently discards you. They finally ditch you for good. They monkey branch, they go off to somebody else, they rebound, they don't come back. Or three, the third way, you end the cycle by holding boundaries and saying, I will not allow myself to be treated this way. Yes, I love you, I care about you, I wanted this to work, but this isn't working for me, and I'm only hurting myself by allowing this treatment to continue. So one of those three things ends the roller coaster ride. But if you look at the comment sections in some of my videos, you'll see that some people have gone through this 12, 13, 14 times with the same person, each time hoping that this is the time that this person changes, that they really won't do it again this time. Now they're really working on themselves. But are they really? Are they doing therapy? Are you actually witnessing a change in behavior when they get triggered? Are you being given any tangible evidence from this person that they're actively doing the work? Or is it just wishful thinking? Are you just wanting them to change? Because if they're not showing you evidence, there's no sign that this roller coaster is going to end unless you end it. And your self-esteem is important. Your wants, your needs, your feelings do matter. And don't allow yourself to tell yourself otherwise, because you're only hurting yourself by allowing this treatment. You are only enabling this other person because there is no incentive for them to do the work as long as you are going to allow them to treat you this way. Stop the Groundhog Day. It'll drive you to insanity and insecurity. You deserve so much better than that. And tell yourself that, because you need to know your worth. You are worth so much more than somebody who treats your heart like a yo-yo. You deserve better.